This is a review of the Viltrox 50mm f2 Air autofocus lens for Sony E-mount cameras. This is a design that makes very nice images and some very nice background blur too. It's a full frame lens and its 50mm focal length means this is what's often called a standard lens, as it's close to the field of view of the human eye. On a Sony APS-C camera, this lens has a full frame equivalent focal length of 75mm. It's a nicely made lens with a polycarbonate body and it's very light at only 205 grams. It's very nicely finished with a soft matte surface and it feels nice in the hand. There's a large focus ring on the lens if you want to focus manually. It turns very smoothly with a firm feel, and this lens feels like a very good quality piece of kit. Autofocusing is nice and snappy with a stepper motor to keep focusing noise to a minimum, so this lens is very useful for autofocus video shooting too, where focusing should be quieter than some other lenses. It comes with a hood that reverses and stows on the lens when not in use. With a fairly fast f2 maximum aperture, this lens promises to make plenty of the blurry stuff, and it doesn't disappoint. At its minimum focus distance of 51 centimeters, the lens makes some very soft blur, giving a very nice feel to images. The nature of the blur doesn't change much either. It stays soft and lovely as distances between camera, subject and background change. This lens makes blur that's reliably soft right throughout the range, and I couldn't find a point where it becomes rough or unruly. Blur was generally really nice from this lens, and it stands out among other autofocus lenses in this regard. Soft enough to be lovely and soft, but with enough character to be interesting too. That lovely soft blur is counterpointed by the sharpness of the subject. This lens is very sharp indeed, right from wide open, and the sharpness spreads across the frame too, with corners being very nearly as sharp as the centre. You certainly won't notice a difference unless you really zoom in tight and look for it. It sharpens a little as you stop down, but this one's sharp enough right across the frame to shoot wide open all day long. It will shoot a nice portrait wide open too. Bubbles from point light sources are circular in the centre, turning very gradually to cat's eye shapes as we go further from the centre. This lens has 9 aperture blades, so you're not going to see any octagons or hexagons as you stop down, just nice smooth shapes. When you shoot wide open, there's a little vignetting from this lens, but only a little. Shooting against a light background means that corners will appear slightly darkened. This is not necessarily always a bad thing, and it can be an interesting aesthetic tool, but if you don't like it, it's easy enough to remove in post or just stop down to f5.6 where it disappears. This lens seems very resistant to chromatic aberration. I could hardly see any at all actually, and it gave a very good performance indeed. This lens resists flaring well. There is a hood included, but I didn't find the need to use it. Flaring is very well controlled, which speaks very well for the coatings and the glass, although like any lens, it will lose contrast eventually with a strong enough sun in the frame. This is a really nice lens that can make some fantastic images, and it's very good value for money. In fact, its overall performance I thought was outstanding, both at this price point and at higher price points too. It's nicely made, it's light and compact, and it's very easy to carry around all day. A very nice 50mm f2 from Viltrox.